very rare that you see a coach get fired mid-season. Yesterday, the Broncos ended the Hackett era early by firing the first-year head coach before he could even finish 17 weeks as the coach. Take a look at this right here. This is a list of men that is not one of great dignitaries. This is the only head coach that have been fired mid-season in their first year since 1970. Just 3. A lot of people might say Denver is not an attractive job for a head coach, but there are certainly some who would say that it's a great job for any head coach. And there's one big name that is looming in every head coaching vacancy, and that is Mr. Sean Payton. Here is the statement. Sean Payton should consider the Broncos head coaching job. We in or we out, Jason?
I am out. Sean Payton, you said, is living in L.A. I see him every week, Sunday mornings, on Fox with yourself, living a great life, doing TV. So if he's going to come back to coaching, I do not think Denver is the job for him. They just paid Russell Wilson a ton of money. They gave up draft capital in order to get him over from Seattle. On top of that, Sean Payton retired from the Saints, so all the talk and chatter is that he'll have to be a trade package to get him to become the next head coach. The Broncos don't have a ton of trade capital after Russell Wilson, so for Payton to get there, they have to give up more of that and come in and try to fix what's already there. Yes, this guy is a brilliant offensive mind, showed that for so many years coaching, so he might be able to do something with Russell Wilson, but if I'm him, why? I'm going to have the pick of the litter. Every job that comes open, he'll have probably first options if he wants to go there. I'm kind of waiting in to see if I'm Sean Payton.
I'm so far in on this happening for Sean Payton. You know why, Peter? I think he looks bored on Sunday mornings. Okay. I think he has things that he needs to give. Tired of seeing working with Schrager every morning. He's like, who is this guy that I've stayed next to?
You guys can empathize?
Yeah, no. That's just once a week. We got you 5 days a week. Sean Payton, like, L.A., really? I know you need a little bit more thrill and excitement. I think you need some mile-high fun, okay, with the Broncos. And let me tell you about this super coaching team that everyone has heard that you are going to put together. The ownership group, the Walton family, $60 billion. They can put together whoever you want on that coaching roster, if you will, please, all right? They have a fantastic and diverse ownership group that welcomes personalities and experience, and I know that's costly, but if you want whatever income you need in Denver, they have it for you. You might be bored working next Traeger every week, but go back and get that dime. What do we say? You got to get paid, right? Got to get paid. All right, Sean Payton, go get, because what jobs are going to come up in a better city than Denver?
Better city or better team?
Well, this actually, I think, is a good confluence of pretty talented team with, I think, not the right coaching fit this year. I think Sean Payton might be.
You know, it's interesting. They have very deep pockets. I think that's fair to say. We're not talking about other people's money, but the Penner family and the Waltons, they have unlimited funds, so they can buy out anything. If you want to buy out, any contract, you can. They could pay Sean Payton anything. I would also add this. That's a pretty darn good fan base. That is not a fan base you need to, awaken and stir the echoes. They're ready to go. They are fully cooked. I'll add a couple other things. Sean Payton lives in Idaho a lot of the time of the year. That's in the mountains. It's close enough to Denver. There might be something there. And the Russell Wilson thing is interesting. Is Russell done? I'm watching him this season. That guy's cooked. He's got to... Or is Sean Payton watching Russell Wilson and saying, no, I've played against this guy for a decade, and it's just he needs the right coach in his ear. Unlimited funds, great fan base. The report that Adam Schefter had was that he's bringing Vic Fangio with him as the defensive coordinator. I'm not going to, confirm or deny that. I'd say this: Vic Fangio was the defensive coordinator / head coach of the Denver Broncos. Yes. He knows it well. It's certainly something to explore. I would ask you, just calling it like it is. Yeah. If the Carolina job is open with no quarterback at the moment, all free agents, or the Denver job is open, both very wealthy owners, both who might be looking to pursue Sean Payton. Yeah. Carolina or Denver, what's the better situation right now?
If I'm Sean Payton or if I'm a head coach, I might be looking to go to Carolina for a clean slate. I can figure out what my next option is going to be at quarterback and build around that, opposed to coming into Denver. And I already know Russ is going to be my quarterback for however many years he has a guaranteed contract. And that's something that you have to build around and figure out. So I think you go into Carolina, they've been through some things. Steve Wilkes has been able to turn this around to the point where they're in playoff contention. So there's some good mojo mojo going on, some good culture being built, but you get a clean slate. You get to walk in there and say, you know what? Hey, I'm looking at this guy or that guy to become my next quarterback.
Peter, remember a couple weeks ago, or a couple years ago, that story that came out where Alvin Kamara went snowboarding in Montana, and he's like, "Don't worry, I had to clear it with my coach." Like, oh yeah, he's fine with the winter snowbird life, all right? Like Sean Payton's made for Denver. Come on.
The rumored destinations for Payton would be to stay at Fox in LA and wait this one out for one more year. Going back to New Orleans, though, Dennis Allen's got his team hot, and I don't know if that would be as clean as it seems. But whoever does sign Sean Payton, they would have to trade with the Saints, as he is still under contract with New Orleans.
Does he like TV?
He loves TV, and I think he is loving the life that he has, spending time with his wife and enjoying the time off. But I watch games with this guy every weekend. There's certainly an itch to get back. He's not done coaching. Speaking of the itch to get back, we're coming right out of this thing with retirement news. And the Bengals might have gotten the win over New England in Week 16, but they suffered a huge loss with Lyle Collins, their left tackle, or right tackle, going down with an injury on Sunday. Yesterday, I put an idea out there in the ether. Take a watch. How cool would it be, Andrew Whitworth, if you, I'm talking to you, Whitworth, I know you're watching. How cool would it be if you came back, won a ring with the Rams last year, come back with the Bengals, you're 6'7", just kind of stand here. You don't have to, we're not looking for you to be an all-pro, and you get a ring with the Bengals as well. Andrew Whitworth, this is a call to arms. We need you back on the field in those Cincinnati Stripes. What do you say? All right, and they just went wild on Twitter because all the Bengals fans were like, hell yeah. Here's the statement. I should quit bothering Andrew Whitworth to return to the Bengals and just let the dude stay retired and enjoy his post-playing life. We in or we out?
I'm out. Who says you're bothering him? Whit probably enjoys it. He's a friend of the show. He came on, and look, Josh Norman signed with the Carolina Panthers yesterday. Guy going back to his original team after leaving for greener pastures. He's going back. Whitworth was drafted in 2006. This past week, and we saw Mercedes Lewis, another 2006 draft pick, making a big, long catch down the sideline. Whit, it is time. Shrek said it yesterday. You fulfilled your commitment. Amazon have done an excellent job, and it's going to be there next year. It's not going anywhere. Go out there. There's 2 more weeks left in the season.
He's blocking Sean Merriman in that clip.
Sean Merriman. I mean, my goodness.
Whitworth played for a long time.
Long time. Very long time. I went back. I was looking at the 2006 draft. I was like, my goodness, all of these guys, they've been retired. Whit's still doing, well, can still do it.
He can.
So you're out on this too, right, Jamie?
I'm in. I'm in on Peter. Stop bothering.
Oh, really? Let him be?
Stressful to consider that these guys who can have such a fantastic NFL career can just leave the game, insert themselves into sports television and be great, and then go back whenever they damn well please. No, this is not okay. Okay, you committed to the TV path. If Carissa loses a teammate after the first season, you know how she's gonna feel on Thursday Night Football? Come on, Whit. I think as true linemen,
finish the string. The last game is this week.
I think as true linemen go, I'm sure Whit was happy to maybe shave some pounds immediately in retirement.
Looks great.
I just don't know if he wants to put that weight back on. He looked great. He seemed happy. He had his family with him in New York when he was on set with us last week. Peter, stop bothering the man. Okay? I think you're just pot stirrer. These 2 questions. I'm in on Peter Schrager being a pot stirrer.
Yeah, and I think Whitworth should come back. I think he should make some demands. He should demand a table at Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, which is the #1 steakhouse in town, no matter what, forever. He should have part ownership of the Cincinnati Reds. He should be able to go to any Cincinnati Bearcats game he wants, basketball or football, be on the sidelines.
Yep.
And I think that he should be able to pick the team's next draft pick in the first round next year. I think that's fair. Those are the terms I would do if I'm Whitworth. But finish the job this week, do Titans, do Cowboys, come back and go block for Joe Burrow, a fellow LSU Tiger.
Oh, it would be so
See you out there, Whit.
Peter, I always love that you lead with the table at the restaurant. I think that's really important. So do